So I mean, but we all live and learn. But people want us to be everybody, but who we say we are. Right?
Mhm.
Pan Africanists want us to be more African than we are American, right? And socialists want us to be more socialist than we are black. You know, everybody wants us to be somebody, something other than what we are. And we're fighting for our identity. We're fighting for our right to be here. We're fighting for our share of resources that we help build
It's
and
true.
we built in most and we built right it's a good 75% of what's here, right? If people, for those who don't understand, if you track wealth in this country, you can track all of it back to what we've done one way or another, or something we were like, for instance, the Homestead Act. You can trace it to something that we were left out of that
Hmm.
somebody else got, right? So all these things, a lot of these things pivot on us, and it is what it is. People don't like to hear it, but fuck them, right? Sam, what you got?
No, I just like I said, I think, we always have this conversation behind the scenes where, I'd like to get to Star Trek, Star Trek
Mm-hmm.
minus space travel, because I don't give a fuck about space travel. But I don't mind the rich oligarch assholes leaving. So for
Mm-hmm.
all of
Oh
them
yeah,
who
they
want to
have money.
go, bye.
Yeah,
Don't
bye.
come back. And you don't get to take your money with you. So
Yep.
bye.
And when the Martians get in that ass, and we'll come back here, hey, help us. Go
We're
ahead.
done. Wrap. So
Yeah.
yeah, no. So I definitely, reparations first. I say it all the time. And then as for going forward, it's just, like I said, people aren't willing to give up a lot of things to have a better society. And that's what it really boils down to, because it seems like everybody just thinks that they're going to make their way to the top one day. So it's like, fuck everybody, but they're kind of screwing themselves and each other. I like Doc's idea about nationalizing the labor force. That completely makes sense to me.
Yeah, I absolutely. Yeah, I think so too. I wouldn't have mentioned, I guess, but
No, especially with automation coming as well. Because you think about, if you nationalize the labor force, and then with automation, a lot of jobs are going to be cleared out anyways. So you have the jobs that you need, you keep those jobs, because that's pretty much going to be watching over the robots until the robots get so smart that they don't really need us. And then you're going to have to figure out what to do with people in their spare time after that, when we get to that point. But we'll probably be dead by
Yeah, and there's
then.
also a lot of jobs to be created, like they said, jobs that can't be sent overseas, or jobs that can't be automated, like
Reading to the elderly,
yeah, elder care. You can't automate elder care.
wellness checks.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You can't automate that. Yeah, you can put cameras in somebody's house or whatever.
But
That's
that's a
not the
lot. But nobody wants
yeah,
Big
but
Brother. It's
yeah,
much
but it,
nicer to have a young person come and knock on your
come in and
door
say,
and
hey,
see
how
if
you
you're
doing?
okay.
Everything okay? Yeah, absolutely.
Do you
Yeah,
need
and
groceries?
yeah, there's only so much you can automate fixing streets, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
only all this infrastructure work that needs to be done. We got decades of infrastructure work that needs to be done. And somebody told me it was something like 1,200 buses. I mean, 1,200 bridges in the state of Alabama can't take the weight of a school bus.
Oh my goodness.
That is crazy to me. That is absolutely nuts to me, right? And this is all the work that could be done. We could cut a check, so to speak, and get that work done. People could have jobs for at least the next 6 decades, right? Fixing and maintaining that work, and maintaining the work is actually takes longer than the initial fixing, right? Even if we use new fancy materials and go green and yada yada yada, there's still decades of work maintaining those things. So and there's plenty of work to be done, right? But we need to fix these primary things. But again, people don't realize it, but we're right. The country is currently trying to kill the working class. It is literally trying to destroy the working class so they can remake this country and have plenty of sources of cheap labor. We quit on the cheap labor shit. That's why they don't love us no more. We're like, fuck that. We want to get paid like white folks, right? They quit on us. So they're just gonna import cheap labor until you guys realize what's going on. This is not xenophobic. This is not anti-immigrant. This is what being done to the country. Just look at the H-1B visa program, and then ask all the black folks that have skills in tech, ask them how they're doing driving Uber. right? So I mean, this is what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So you can play that game like you don't know and call me names. I don't give a fuck what you call me, right? Cut the
Yeah.
check. So I mean, it's just things that I think about, and my
Well,
brain is weird. Go ahead,
to
Doc.
to build off of what you're talking about here and what Sam was mentioning with the nationalization of the workforce, I'd mentioned that our ability to live and feed our kids and this kind of stuff shouldn't be dependent on another person's desire to make profit. And
Absolutely.
as well, our ability to maintain our infrastructure or the jobs that need to be done in this country shouldn't depend on some company desiring to, charge 1.5 times as much as it should cost to build a bridge. What we need to do is we need to cancel all the private sector contracts we got in the country, and we need to put that money into the communities. And we need to say, okay, we need 3 bridges fixed in this community. We got this pool of people here. We're going to pay you this amount of money, and it shouldn't be $8.50 an hour or whatever the minimum wage is. It should be an actual living wage to get people who are not working right now, and maybe to some degree they might be on public assistance somehow, get them good jobs, because people, I think, and I really believe this, I think people would rather work than get assistance. And
I'd rather work,
especially if you're getting a much better wage than you would otherwise. If you were trying to work for like McDonald's or whatever else, low skilled jobs, put all those people to work at good paying jobs. You can keep them working as long as you possibly can. They'll stay because they like jobs better than food stamps. And then you don't have to pay that extra money out to some private corporation. And like Sam was really good at pointing out, this is different from reparations. Of course, this is an actual jobs program, and it actually benefits white people and black people, poor people alike in the community. And I think that is probably closer to socialism than whatever these Bernie Sanders people or AOC is talking about. Who are just talking about giving tax breaks to small businesses or Medicare for all and shit like that.
Yeah, those people are just trying to. They see all these people getting ready to age out. I mean, really age out like death, who are in office, and they're just trying to replace those folks with these younger people like AOC, in order to have some sort of majority. But obviously they're not going to do anything with it. When they got a chance to punch back, they don't punch back. You can only lay on your back for so long. Jesus Christ.
Well, the Democrats actually can lay on their back for quite a lot longer.
Yeah. I'm talking about the squad and all these other folks.
Who
talk a good game and Twitter the world of fire. But when they have an opportunity, like when they had a chance to force a vote on Medicare for all, they blew it. And all these folks around them who are supposed to be leftists gave them room to do so. They protected them, the Young Turks and all these other clowns. Right? They just want the power. They don't give a fuck who gets hurt. They want the money and the power. And of course we get left out of that. We're not even part of that calculation, but we're changing that shit on that ass.
Listening to Reset Race, you now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race, you're now tuned in to Reset Race. What? Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Back on the grill again. We grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. ADOS need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake. Lineage go back to U.S. Southern plantations. Lineage, Jim Crow and mass incarceration. Redlining lynchings, we are old from this nation. You're not about justice if you ain't for reparations. MG the wise one, cousin mother intellectual. Samantha bringing fire, anti-black, we pressing you. No permanent friends and no permanent enemies. The backbone of the country, to win, you need our energy. You gon' see? Listening to Reset Race. You now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race. You're now tuned in to Reset Race. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Back on the grill again. We grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. ADOS need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice plan. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake.
Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna crumble.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. Now, this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.